Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King.
Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day. Halfway twisted.
Welcome back to another week of Marbella Now. I'm always saying it's not what you know, who you know, but who knows you, something my daddy used to say. And thanks to some fabulous networking groups that we have on the Costa del Sol, we get to meet some wonderful people. Elena Olcina of Sinergias Femeninas has a great group, and I love that she has a Spanish group that reaches out to the international community and to get the members of her group in contact with the international community. And that's how I got to meet, or I'm getting to meet, my first guest this week. His name is Antonio Rodriguez from the Boris International Medical Clinic, and it was Tatiana who contacted me, who goes to Elena's group, and put it all together for us to meet now. So Antonio, bienvenido, welcome to the program.
Hello. Welcome. Thank you very much, Nicole.
My absolute pleasure, and I just love that it's all through these little ways we get to meet each other, this one through that one, through the other one.
Yeah.
And I have to say, and I apologize, I'd never heard of the Boris International Medical Clinic.
Oh, hey.
And yet I've been looking online, you do home visits, it's a really well set up infrastructure, so I apologize, and I'm at the same time delighted that while I get to know more, we all get to know more about this clinic. So how long have the Boris Clinic been open?
That's no problem, because from now you will know a lot.
Okay.
And now we are friends, so we will be in touch. Yeah, actually, we are nearly 7 years now in the Costa del Sol. Well, we start 7 years ago with our first clinic, and there was in Mijas. Then 2 years after, we opened one in Marbella, in Nueva Alcántara, and then we opened 3 years ago one in Calpe, in Alicante. So this is our closing at the moment of the group, and now more concentrate in Marbella area. Calpe is far away, and the connection is not really good with Malaga. So now we have control there, a new manager there, so I'm a little relaxed.
Yeah, because you're in charge of manager of the setup in Spain.
Yeah.
And I know myself going to Calpe and that area, I mean, it's just one straight road. There's no petrol stations when you get to the last 2 hours. There's nowhere to eat. There's nothing. It's just nothing.
Nightmare.
It's really one of the most undeveloped roads, I think we have.
And and we are looking for international people because we are focusing in international clients. But actually, the connection is horrible. You need to take the train to Valencia or the flight, and then you need to rent a car, go to Calpe. So
yeah, it was confusing. I actually drove because it was easier, but it was just equally a nightmare. It doesn't make you want to go more often.
That's why now I was lucky to find somebody there, and we was working last 2 years to set up everything, and now I can concentrate more in this area, which is my area, and which is the area I love.
Are you from this area?
No, I'm actually from Córdoba.
Oh, very
From
nice.
Córdoba, but I'm living here in Marbella 15 years ago.
So you're Marbellí completamente.
I'm Boquerón, auténtico.
Yeah, totally feeling at home. So
Sure.
the clinics obviously have a good infrastructure. Tell us a little bit about the setup of the clinic itself.
Well, clinics are polyconsulting clinics. Like we have different service, different specialities, and minor surgeries. So we are like no hospital. We are clinics, and our main thing is receive international clients, give medical service, and provide with the service of the specialist.
So if a child's got an earache or you've got something happened while you're on holiday or living here, you can just go to a Boris clinic and say like, help me.
Yeah, we are normally, what we do is one of the things that different from other clinics is that we're giving service 25 hours. Before we were open our clinic 24 hours, but now we are open 10 hours a day, and then we have GP doctors who are on the call center, which is connected 25 hours. If something happen, We go to the hotels, we go to the houses, and then if something is serious or we need to go with the client to the hospital, we will go with the client all the time. We speak with the hospital and we arrange everything that when the clients arrive, everything is set up.
Well, that is wonderful, because a lot of the issues arise when people then have to go to a hospital and they don't speak the language. And so much gets lost in translation.
I always think like it is different for me. Imagine for somebody which is for a foreign, like somebody who speaks Russian, somebody who speaks English. It's a nightmare, to be honest. So we try to help international clients. Well, Spanish people are welcome as well to our clinic.
Yeah, nos ignoras.
Yeah, somos españoles.
Primero españoles.
Yes, but obviously we are more concentrated because it's, our agreements are with international insurance. Obviously we welcome to Spanish people, but sometimes Spanish people don't really need our service.
Yeah, they've got the national health and they've got the things all set up.
And they sometimes they don't need the service. But for foreign people, people who don't speak really good English, they need help. So what we're doing is we provide this service with we have two people. We are like the people who are speaking with the clients by phone. It's free. You can phone free Boris, and you can ask questions like where I can go for this. If I have this international insurance, can I get this? Or for example, if I don't have this international insurance, if I have only Seguridad Social, can I go to this private clinic? And we give this support free, obviously. And at the moment, the clients are happy. We are having more and more clients, and our reputation is going up. So
well, without a doubt, it's one of the very few medical, I suppose, services that have made such an emphasis on the personal attention to the client, the accompanying them, and to resolving doubts on a phone call. Because normally it's like you have to go, you have to pay, you can't get that immediate like service and feedback. You do home visits. Is it just, say, in Marbella, for the Marbella area? What area do you cover?
We cover from Soto Grande to Nerja.
Oh, wonderful.
So we separate in 3 different areas, A, B, C, and D, and we do the cover area. Obviously, for example, in Nerja area, we have, depending on what happened with the clients, we have agreement with the ambulance there. So, for example, if they need a specialist, or they need just general practitioners, or maybe they need an ambulance, sometimes we don't need to go from Malaga to Nerja. We have an agreement there, and maybe some company, we have an agreement with the ambulance company, they can go there, but we do, before we do a phone call and we know exactly what's happening with the client, and then we organize the service.
So you really are, customer service is like top of the list of the priorities.
Yes. And then there is some service or some specialists that we have on the clinics, and some other things. We have agreements with other hospitals, and we use this service. Because at the end, if you try to do all, at the end it's very difficult to do all right. With the time I have learned that it's better to have a good agreement with another clinic which is specialized in something, and have agreement with them.
Do what you do well, which is basically all the general medical issues that can come up, plus giving that language service and attention to be able to accompany, if you go to hospital, do translations, answer questions on the phone.
We arrange all the appointments, we choose the doctor that we know that they are really good, and the service we are really good. And we in our clinic have, for example, a really good cardiology department, urology department, gynecology department, then internist as well, physiotherapy, and from the last 2 years we have launching the first unit for vitamin drips, which is our new unit, and we are so happy about this.
Tell me a bit about it, because I've heard that people go and get vitamin B shots and things, and I have to say, to me, it sounds a bit
strange.
It sounds strange. So tell me more. Explain.
All right, that's true that it's something like For me, at the beginning, it felt and sounds very strange because Spanish people, don't get used to have this treatment. Here in Spain, actually, it's not very popular because it's quite aggressive. When somebody said, I will do for you a vitamin drip infusion to your blood directly. You get shocked. What? You mean like for
Why?
The feeling is like you do this when you are really ill in the hospital, not just for fun. Obviously, we don't do for fun, and people don't get for fun. But how it's starting is that we was working with an internist doctor, international. He was from Poland, and he told us about this. Actually, we have a lot of clients who are Russians, because one of the owners on the past was Russian, and they told us about these treatments, and the Russian people and some of international people are very
Why would
fan.
you have a vitamin drip? What does it do?
Basically, is a lot of people have took vitamin support. Did you took vitamin support?
When I remember.
But a lot of nutritionists, they say, okay, you are tired. Okay, you need to say magnesium, B complex, ácido lipoico, vitamin Z, and everybody took oral. And when you took oral, this vitamin or these antioxidants, the only percent that you are getting on your body is 20%. So the absorption of the body is only 20%. So these treatments are the same, but instead of need to take in deep pills, you buy, or you not buy, we have all this vitamin from laboratory, which is certificated with the pharmacy. It's not like it's all is legal, or everything is certificate. So you get these vitamins in the drip, which is can be 250 milliliters of electrolytes. You put the percentage of the vitamin inside, and then you get it directly to your blood. So instead of having the 20%, you get the 100% absorption.
And what kind of differences will one notice? Just extra energized, or?
Well, to be honest, it's different. There is different protocols. The more commons are, for example, after the COVID, a lot of people have the immune system very low. So one of the treatment is the immunity. This treatment is have vitamin C, B complex, have magnesium, and they have a mix of vitamins, okay? So you just need to do a program of 5, one every week, and then at the beginning we ask for obviously a blood test. So we have your blood test, you have now to see the overall plan. We see how is your level of vitamins, and then we put more or less vitamins.
Okay, so it's an actual process.
Yeah.
Everyone comes in, they get assessed, and based on their needs, then you...
Yeah, it's, for example, we have the hangover one, which is for people who have had a really good night. And then this one, for example, because normally people get once and then go back home, you don't need a blood test for this. And this is basically is vitamin, antioxidants, and obviously hydration. Because
so if someone had a tough night, but they got a big meeting the next day, pop into the Boris clinic, get a shot.
They don't need to come to Boris. They can phone. We go to your villa, to your hotel, everywhere.
Oh, okay, so that's really convenient.
Yeah, it's really good and easy. And it's like magic for the hangover, because you feel like this. There is people like, oh, I cannot move. I doing vomit, and they do the drip, and actually it's like, oh, what is the next party? No, but this is really help, because obviously they are poor materials and they go directly to your blood. And this, when you put 500 milligrams of electrolytes in your body, is directly to your body. So you get really well hydrated at the moment. Then the other thing is the anti-aging for ladies, which is with BOT, with a product called NAD, which is now very, very popular with the celebrities in America that they use it. It's quite interesting. It's another world that is somebody like this type of vitamins, and they have tried in other countries. They can find here in Boris one of the unique clinic that can provide medical service, and then this unit, because obviously always need to be coordinated by a doctor and with a professional nurse. If not, we will never use it.
Well, it's absolutely fascinating. I mean, just want to go and check out the clinic to have a look and see these people on these vitamin drips.
Yes, Nicole, maybe next week you will be brighting like
exactly,
like
I'm going to go get the anti-aging one and turn out, look, Antonio's really, 97? And he's been using the drip and look, it works really well.
I look like a little boy of 40.
Well, I'm delighted to get to meet you and
Thank you
also
so much.
to hear of the Boris International Medical Clinic. As you can see, all nationalities welcome, including Spanish. Great all-round general doctor practitioners, but also with some great specialities. And I love the aspect of basically accompanying the patient in all aspects, answering questions, willing to answer questions. You can phone up and ask questions. You can have home visits. Basically, you're covering it all.
Nearly all, yeah, we try.
Yeah, and what they don't cover, obviously, as you said, making appointments for the people who do, but going with that recommendation, expertise and experience that you guys have already got.
We always try to help everybody and give all the information. And as I said, there's things that we cannot provide to them, but we will do recommendation. And if they need somebody who work with them or book the service and everything, we are delighted to try to help people. And now with this time that the big hospital, they make a lot of waiting time and a lot of wasting time. People go to one place and then go to another place. They feel sometimes they're wasting the time. They can come to us and we will do our best.
5-star Cosmopolitan treatment. What more can we ask for? We don't expect any less. Antonio,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nicole.
Absolute pleasure. See you again
It's a pleasure.
soon. Not a threat.
I will see you in our clinic.
I look forward to it.
Thank you.
Don't go away because I'll be back in just a moment.
All right, guys. So I'm the designated driver tonight, so I'm going to choose the Zero Hero place. So all of my soft drinks are for free. And if you want to go somewhere else, just check out the Facebook, Instagram, or the zerohero.es website for any of the bars, discotheques, or restaurants on there. I'm happy to go anywhere you want to go, as long as it's Zero Hero.
Zero Hero, welcome here at the Gaucho de Banús.
Welcome to Lemongrass, Doña Lola. Thank you very much.
I'm delighted to welcome to the studio Linda Greenway. We've become quite good friends since we first met through the television a few years ago. I've interviewed Linda when we were recording Out and About, but it's the first time here on the set. So welcome to RTV Marbella. Linda, it's lovely to have you here.
Yeah, no, thank you for inviting me.
It's nice to see you. It's a good excuse to catch up and
definitely.
actually see you.
Yes, and have a chat.
Exactly.
Finally.
Actually have a chat. And actually ask you questions about yourself that I don't really know because it doesn't always come up when you're out and about.
No.
To actually ask people questions.
Yeah.
So, Linda Greenway, where are you from?
I'm from Lancashire.
Oh, really?
From Lytham St Anne's. Yes.
Well, that's lovely.
From the northwest of the UK. Yeah. But I've been here 15 years now.
And your decision to come over was what?
Well, it was because my son needed to speak Spanish, and he was 7 at the time, and so I didn't know anybody in Spain. And I didn't really know Spain. I'd only been to Ibiza and Barcelona. And then I was like, okay, how am I going to do that? So I bought myself a motorhome. And then we sold everything in the UK and started driving direction Spain because he had to speak Spanish because his father's from Argentina. And the phone calls were getting pretty crazy. And I was like in the middle saying, Christopher, your dad says this. And then the dad would say something and I would have to translate. So I thought the best thing to do is to come to a Spanish-speaking country, and then my son
That was
would
very
speak Spanish.
nice of you. That was very, that was very big of you. It was a big decision
Yeah.
to do that. I could just see you in your camper.
I'm a truck driver. I was like, we had lots of fun. I mean, we went all through the west coast of France. We went to San Sebastian first of all, then we crossed over to Barcelona, and then we followed all the coast down. But we had so many adventures every single day. I mean, we were bodyboarding, we were fishing, we were like in museums, we were in castles, we were trying all sorts of really unusual food that that, yeah, my son had never tried in his life before. In fact, some things I'd never even tried.
Because the way of eating here is so different. I mean, when you see the Americans come and they're served a fish with a head on and they don't even know where to put themselves.
Oh, I know.
I mean, at least in England we know that fish have heads.
Yes.
But I don't think in the States that they realise it actually kind of was an animal in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, there's such a difference in
Yeah.
the cultures and presentation of cuisine.
Yeah, well, we were having frog's legs, we were having eel, we were having all sorts of raw shellfish that I never imagined that you could have it raw. But yeah, we were trying just about everything. And we saw them, you know, the oysters in the fields, and we saw all these things. So it was really, really nice trip.
And so you just, since you've been here, you just keep on enjoying all the different facets. And you're very big, not necessarily on health, but very much on eating healthy food. And you have become, I think all your life's missions have transformed you into what you are now. You're like a holistic well-being.
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 I'm a well-being.
You're a well-being.
I'm a well-being.
You're a but you are a well-being.
I am a well-being.
I mean, just look at you. You are a well-being. This is a being that's doing well and looks well.
I like it.
So tell us a bit about what you're doing now, because you have actually seemed to consolidate all the years of the different things you've done into now something that I think is very much you.
Yes.
Because you exude, if you let me say, peace, energy, but at the same time, like well-being.
Thank you. The well-being. I like it. Yeah. Well, it's been 25 years, or well, probably a bit longer. I'm not going to say too much more, not to show my age. But yeah, I did certificates in holistic therapies, and so that was diet and nutritional advice and reflexology, helping the person as a whole. So it was counselling, it was coaching, and so I did do that for quite a long time. When I was living in Argentina, I had my own little clinic, and so I was doing that. And then throughout the years, I was also doing, up until recently, and then I had a hotel only for about 9 years. And in that hotel, I also did wellness retreats. So we did like Kundalini retreats, we did vegan retreats, we did detox retreats, we did, you name it. I imagined whatever kind of retreats, we did that. So yeah, and I carry on doing the therapies, because as I was doing the hotel, I was also doing the therapies. And I don't know, recently people are just wanting me to actually cook healthy foods. And so I've been doing a few retreats, like Ayurveda retreats. And so I was doing I combined the different kind of foods with like macrobiotic, with the Ayurvedic spices, with all the healthy, that you have to have at least 30 plant-based foods per week, but not different ones.
Not just 5 fruit and veg, like they used to say in the old days.
Yeah, well, it still works out to 5 fruits and veg each day, but they have to be different ones each day. So a lot of people tend to say that, oh, no, I'm having, you know, my 5 fruits and vegetables, but it's always maybe the same. But the important thing is to try and juggle it all around, because each fruit, each vegetable, each pulse, each grain, everything has different minerals, each vitamins. And so you want to really get a lot of those different nutrients to help the microbiome, the gut's flora, to work well, so then it also helps you to be well.
I was curious because the last few days, it's actually come up several times, people talking, for example, about pumpkin seeds.
Oh, yes, great.
And parasites. And first of all, I don't think people ever think they have a parasite unless you have a worms, as one knows as a child kind of thing. But I don't think we ever think about parasites, and I would never have thought of eating a pumpkin seed for that. And then I heard a study recently saying that they thought a lot of actually people who study parasites, that cancer is actually just a conglomeration, or would seem, of parasites that form. So there does seem to be a lot in this awakening to the importance of our internal well-being with these seeds and things you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, for me, because I do the Ayurvedic principles, I'm not an Ayurvedic specialist, but I do that in with the foods, and I like to have the spices, and the spices are really good for killing all sorts of things. But it's important. I've forgotten what we were like.
We're talking about the eating well parasites and eating pumpkin seeds and...
Yeah. But it's really, I mean, the main systems in our body is the digestive system. So if we're not digesting the foods, and we're not getting the nutrients into our body, and if we're not having a good movement with the intestines and clearing the toxins out, if you don't look after those 2 main systems in the body, then it starts messing up everything else, because then it gets into your skin, it gets like into the circulation, then it goes to the weak areas in your body, and that's where diseases all start evolving.
I'm getting images now of like blocked up drains, basically.
Exactly.
It's your tubery, it's all the pipes and tubes, and they do get clogged with stuff, and we don't put the best stuff in our bodies.
No.
So basically, it's things to declog and...
Yeah, and that's why I like the Ayurvedic spices, and I mix a lot of those things.
You're saying Ayurvedic. What is Ayurveda? Even if you're not an actual specialist,
right?
What is special about Ayurveda?
Oh, I love Ayurveda because I also did Ayurvedic retreats in the hotel. So, it's from 5,000 odd years ago. It comes from India, but they say that you have to have at least 6 different tastes to help put you in balance. Okay, they divide it into different people. So there's 3 different constitutions, and depending on your constitution, what spices are better for you. I don't go into too much detail like that. I just like to work with the different spices, which could be cardamom, it's cinnamon, fennel, fenugreek, coriander seeds, like all these kind of things all have their own little vitamins and minerals and have different effects on the body. So as you're having that, it's like really good for getting the digestive fire moving, so then you have a really good digestion, and it helps with the metabolism, and then it really gets everything through. And if you do have parasites or bacteria and those kind of things, it helps to like clear those things out of your system.
So obviously very important. It's amazing how the food industry has taken us perhaps so far off track when you actually hear people who know talk. We are doing such harm to ourselves, and we would never put Coca-Cola on our plants. And yet we drink Coca-Cola as an example, in the sense of it doesn't make sense, some of the things we put in our bodies.
No, I think a lot of things have been distorted, and everything has become like commercial, so there's been like lots of marketing. But I know there's a lot of addictive properties in a lot of the foods that has been marketed to us, so it's not really our fault. I mean, we've been educated something far away from really the natural stuff. So I think it's really important to have as much natural products and more organic and more ecological. It's like a few weeks ago I was doing a retreat in Tarifa. Also, I was helping them with the nutrition for about 17 people. And I was going to the farmer's market. So luckily I've got a motorhome. I've still got the motorhome that I brought my son over with. Luckily I have that. And really I had boxes full of fruits, vegetables. I mean, broccoli flowers. Have you ever had broccoli flowers? They're so delicious and they look so pretty. I mean, yeah. So anyway, I just had my whole motorhome packed with all these kind of things. So, no, it is really important to try and buy ecological, try and have more the organic. I know it's a little bit more expensive, but the eco markets, the farmers markets, they really are good prices.
This 17 people, is this what you were going to mention something before that you were with these amazing? I said, don't tell me, save it for the interview. Tell me more.
No, this weekend was a very unusual event that I was doing. No, that was very organic, super, super healthy. This weekend was a different kind of healthy because it was for American footballers. And so, again, it was about 18 of us, and they asked me to look after them with the nutrition. Now, with the Ayurvedic retreat, it was mainly vegan, but nobody noticed it was vegan because I made the food really nice, so then, they enjoyed it and didn't even miss the meat. With it being
if you don't tell them it's vegan, most times they won't know if it's done well.
No, but they all felt, good. They all were a lot slimmer and stuff. But with American footballers, I can't let them slim, so they have to stay big and strong. So yes, there was meat and everything, but it was quite a special one because it was a photo shoot, a photo shoot for a calendar, for a nudist, a naked calendar. And so these American footballers were actually going around the whole place completely naked. And there's me in the kitchen doing all my stuff, and they would come in and say, Linda, do you need a hand with anything? Completely stark naked. So I was not really knowing where to come and look. I'm like, yes, do you mind just taking this, please? Because I couldn't drop my gaze or anything like that. It was really quite a bizarre weekend.
So they'd come over to Spain for this photo shoot?
Some came from different countries, from the UK, from Ireland, from other European countries, from Belgium. And then there was also the Spanish team they also came. And so, but you could hear the roars of laughter. I mean, and also it was pretty bizarre. We were having lunch all together, obviously because I was cooking. And then I would come out and they'd say, oh, join us at the table. And they're all there just enjoying themselves completely like free.
I mean, but surely if they were going to a photo shoot, they didn't have to be naked all the time. They're obviously just enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have just taken the clothes off for the photo shoot.
No, I know. No, but it was Toledo and it was super hot. So I think they just enjoyed the fact that, yes, they could just stay in that way.
So you have an interesting life then.
Yeah, my life is definitely not
and
boring.
They say food's boring.
No,
healthy eating is boring, obviously
not. Definitely not. No. But it's not just food I do. I organise retreats as well. And not so long ago, I did a private retreat. And that was a Scottish businessman. He just needed mission reset was his
the objective.
He didn't tell me much. I said, well, do you have a property over here? You know, so then I know where I'm going. He said, no, I just delegate. So you just organize everything for me. So I organized a beautiful villa for him, organized the food, I organized different therapists coming in, even an osteopath, because he was all like, he wasn't very flexible, he told me. That was the only thing I knew. And then I made beautiful, like, vegan foods again. And it was really quite interesting because he would, he did tell me that he has about 12 different restaurants. I was like, oh no. I mean, I'm not a chef. But I mean, and it's all vegan stuff that he'd never even tried or even tasted, because he could go to whichever restaurant he wanted and he could eat whatever he wanted. And so every mealtime he's like, so Linda, what do we have today? And so I was like, well, we've got chard with garam masala, again with my Ayurvedic spices and stuff, and with sultanas and with this and with that. And he was like, oof. So yeah, it was kind of fun. So I enjoy doing the private retreats because I like doing the coaching side of things. So it's like having your own personal coach, organizing different therapies from osteopath to Kundalini yoga with gong meditations to breath work, you name it. I can organize everything into a private retreat.
So that would kind of be your speciality now, in the sense if you want to do a retreat, or you just want to get someone for you to prepare a healthy menu and way to eat and with recipes. So that would kind of be where you're specializing now. It seems that actually your clients have taken you in that direction.
Yeah, it's definitely been like put more in that, and then other people have been recommending me to go more into that direction. And I love looking after people. I love seeing the changes, because this gentleman, after 3 days, he came in very stiff. His eyes were kind of like, you could feel the stress and everything on him. And then after 3 days of manipulations and like osteopath and the breath work and yin yoga, where you're just like being totally stretched and so yeah. And after the 3rd day, his eyes were like bright-eyed, and he was like straighter and he was more flexible. No, for me it's a lot of satisfaction. I love to see the change, and there's dramatic changes. Even though it's a short time, it was really concentrated. But yeah, I like to do that.
That's the beauty, is being able to actually see the results, particularly in such a short time. Those of us, I suppose, who eat really badly, you just get a little bit of something nice, a little bit of pampering and looking after. Yeah. And it is important that we look after ourselves. Too many people put other things, and without our own body, we're nothing, and yet we don't really look after it as we should. No. We look after our cars better than we look after ourselves, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I also do reflexology, and if you think about it, by the time you're at the age of 70, your feet have taken you the distance of around the world and a half by the time you're 70. I mean, and people don't even think about their feet. And the feet are a mirror image of the body. So as I'm doing reflexology, I know everything about what's going on in the body. So I like to do that if it's someone who comes locally. And if not, then I do things online.
So why do our feet feel heavy? Like sometimes I go home and they go, it's heavy. Your feet feel like lead weights.
Well, it could be because of swelling. It could have been because of like inflammation.
Eating the wrong things.
Yeah. Because I mean, on the feet, you've got everything, all the organs, all the nerves in the body finish in the feet. So as I'm going through, I can feel if the kidneys are in good shape. I can feel if the liver or the lungs. And it really is quite fascinating I discover everything about the person, and people test me. They don't tell me beforehand because they want to think, she doesn't know what she's doing, whatever. And then they're like, oh my God, you told me every different detail of.
I do think people hear things like reflexology or whatever, and it's all like nancy-pansy, but it isn't. I understand that there's a lot of technique, and that there is obviously a lot of truth.
Yeah.
And a lot of good that can come from it.
Yeah, but talking about technique, I mean, if someone's not doing it properly, the person could be constipated, because I mean you're going through the intestines, you're going through the colon, so you're pushing everything through. And so if you're pushing it the opposite direction, the person can be constipated. And then the little things like, you've got like a little bubble here, I don't know if you can see in the camera, that's actually your bladder. And that's, before you go to the toilet, is usually a bit more swollen. And then when you've gone to the bathroom, it's flatter. So I mean, it's like, for me, if I look at the feet, it's like the feet, they talk to me. So I can see what's happening. So no, it's fascinating.
It is fascinating.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do a whole interview about feet.
Maybe.
I can see that. There's a lot more to be said about that.
Yes.
Well, it was really nice just to get a touch base again, just to see what's going on, and all fascinating things. I'm delighted for you. Sounds like you're having lots of fun.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Do you get a complimentary copy of the calendar?
I have. I've got actually a big book of it, of all the other shoots that they've done. They've done like about 15 of these different retreats up until now, and so yeah, it's quite fascinating.
Congratulations. Never a dull moment.
Definitely not.
Linda Greenway, thank you very much.
No,
Lovely
thank
to
you.
see you again.
Yes.
And yes, wasn't that cool? Well done, you.
Thank you.
Hey, hey.
Zero Hero, welcome to the Secret Garden. We welcome you.
Hi guys, Kazakhstan is proud to welcome the Zero Heroes. So come on in and enjoy free soft drinks for anyone who is the designated driver. Thank you, Nicole.
So here we are at Everest. Very cool.
Yeah.
Stickers going up.
Hi, my name is Govinda. I'm from Everest. Welcome to Zero Hero, to Everest Fusion, to enjoy your cocktails, drinks, and happy hour as well. And food, of course, is delicious. Thank you.
We're going over now to Yanks in Centro Plaza. Why? Because it's just been the 4th of July on Tuesday, and I wanted to catch up with Lucca and the American International Club of Marbella just to join in the celebrations. Lucca, happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
Love the outfit, you look amazing.
Thank you. I worked the whole night, so I'm sorry for my hair. I'm having a bad hair day today.
So, Lucca, delighted to be here with the American International Club of Marbella. How long has that been going?
Well, actually, this club has a long story. About 20 years ago, when this club started, it was called American Club Costa del Sol. Then, we were approximately 300 members of Americans, and we were spread in so many different clubs. It was American Club Estepona, American Club Marbella, American Club Fuengirola, and Nerja. But that is a different kind of club. What we're doing right now is integrated international people into our community of clubs, which is now American International Club Marbella. But because of all the hurdles we've been suffering, the COVID, and people going back to America and so on and so forth, the club somehow disintegrated, disbanded. So we're trying to recoup the club. And we're doing our best to try to bring people together and just have fun, and also enjoy the beautiful Marbella and engage with community activities. We've been supported by the Ayuntamiento. They've been very, very supportive, and we're looking forward to meet more people, not only Americans, but we include all nationalities.
Where are you from yourself?
I'm from San Diego, California, right on the border between Mexico and the United States, always in between.
And what brought you over here to Marbella?
I met someone online. I met someone online, and that's how I actually ended up here. It was in 2005.
That's a beautiful love story.
Yes, and it was July the 4th of 2005 when I moved to Spain. It ended up not exactly the best love story, but after a year I met another person and I stayed here. It was all about love. Things you do for love.
Things you do for love, and one love story led to the never-ending love story.
Exactly.
Congratulations. I look forward to seeing you more often, and I would hope you come to the studio for an interview one day. We actually get to see your face.
I'll be delighted.
Who's under
those
glasses and that hair?
Sorry, I can't see you. Where are you?
Watch this space. Thank you so much, Lucca.
Thank you very much. And let's party like it's 1776.
That sounds like a plan.
Hey, hey. It's a brand new day.
Zero Hero, welcome to the Secret Garden. We welcome you.
It's a brand new.
Hi guys, Kazakhstan is proud to welcome the Zero Heroes. So come on in and enjoy free soft drinks for anyone who is the designated driver. Thank you, Nicole.
So here we are at Everest. Very cool.
Yeah.
Stickers going up.
Hi, my name is Govinda. I'm from Everest. Welcome to Zero Hero, to Everest Fusion, to enjoy your cocktails, drinks, and happy hour as well. And food, of course, is delicious. Thank you.
Joining me now is Chris Goodacre of Upsticks, that deal with residency and visa and all that paperwork that we all find so complicated. Welcome back to the programme, Chris.
Hi, Nicole. How are you doing?
I'm really well. Really nice to see you again. You've been to the studio before, but we were together a few days ago at the Business First summer party. That was nice.
We were, and I think at the celebration of 100 businesses with Dario Sora as well. We went to the gala.
Exactly.
Well,
I tried not seeing you for ages, and then suddenly we've been catching
Yeah.
up. So it's nice. Those networking groups are really very, very beneficial of getting people together, and then also for me meeting a whole group of new people in one gulp, which is always interesting.
Yeah. No, I mean they're also helping to strengthen the business with the network that you get as well from that. So if there's services that we don't offer, it helps us to facilitate other services for our clients.
Exactly, and the idea really is, I think, with the groups and people who live here who value the resident client, you want to help as much as possible, because then people come back and recommend you. It's always the best way of being.
Yeah, certainly for our business as well, because obviously we're dealing with people right at the front end. So once we're done, they're sort of here, and it's now what? You know, and it's like, we need this, we need that. So being part of a big networking group is quite handy for us, because we can hand over and say, well, actually now you need to go and do this. So it's brilliant. Once they have their residency, that's just the start of the journey, isn't it?
It is. It's the very beginning. But I had to laugh because we came on the show quite a bit at the beginning of Brexit, during Brexit. And then I was telling everybody, you have to now go and get your TIEs and do these exchanges. And for years I did this, and then suddenly I realised I hadn't done mine. And of course, when I was going to do my paperwork, although I know how to do it, it was so much easier through Upsticks. So thank you ever so much. It was very easy. And I think also the authorities, when they see the Upsticks brochure, they are already assuming everything is in order.
Yeah, I mean, the invention of our folder was for that reason, really. The branding was also, so when the offices see that we're walking in with that folder, they know that everything's in order. I mean, when the whole process of the post-Brexit process started, I actually went into the offices and said, what order do you want the paperwork? Because when you see one of these folders, that's the order it's going to be in. And that was it, you know, as simple as that. So they know. We do that as well with the consulates in the UK. So now we're handling quite a few visa applications through the consulates in Manchester, Edinburgh and London. And for the non-lucrative visas for people who are retiring here. And we send all those clients as well with their UpStix folder, you know. So we approached them and said, what order do you want the paperwork? Because this is the folder you're going to see with the correct order.
And obviously that helps a lot because the authorities deal with a lot of people, and particularly through Brexit, of no fault of their own, their workload just, I mean, you can't even say double, tripled. It was just like, it was amazing the amount of work we've given these poor people. So it must be very reassuring for them as well to know the system is coming in. It takes me back, you're talking about visas. I remember back in the 80s, going over to Morocco, to the embassy there, hoping to get a visa, and then I had to go back to the UK. So it's very much gone back to as it was before England joined the economic European community.
Yeah, no, it has. I mean, the way that we always describe it to people is that, you know, before, if you are an EU citizen, you already have permission to be here, but you then have to register. So like an EU residency card says on it, actually doesn't say, it says registration. Whereas now, British citizens have lost that right, so they have to ask for permission first. So going to the consulates is getting that permission, getting the visa, and then the registration of that permission is when you get your TIE card.
So a non-lucrative visa, I would imagine then you have to justify proof of income and how you're going to support yourself.
Yeah, and it's gone up quite a lot. So here for a European, we have to you have to prove that you've got. There's a system called EPREM in Spain, which is what the government uses to base a minimum payment for things like benefit payments here in Spain and stuff. But it's also used to calculate what people can live on. A European citizen would need to demonstrate they've got income or savings of 100%. Somebody coming on a non-lucrative visa, which doesn't permit you to work, needs to have 400%. So for an individual applicant, it's €28,800 per year that they're here as a resident.
And how do they have to show that? I mean, how, if you've got like a pensioner or...
Well, you have, so if for a couple it's 36,000, for an individual it's 28,800. They can show it in either savings, passive income, pensions, maybe rental income, if they've got a property they're renting out, or a combination of both. For that first year, if they're using savings, it's actually only, if it's a couple, for example, €36,000. But when you come to renew, you're actually renewing for a further 2 years. If you're using savings, you have to have double that amount in the bank. So a lot of people are selling properties in the UK, and they're having to put money in Spain, ring fence that money for their first 5 years here in Spain until they're permanent residents.
And for people wanting, I mean, I'm just processing, it's like it's shocking. When we think how lucky we were that we could just come here and set up and what have you. What about if people want to come and live and work here? Okay, I'm going to go and live in Spain. I'm going to open up a bar or something like that. How do you go about that nowadays?
Well, it's extremely difficult. You have to get a work visa, but work visas are very difficult to get. I mean, work visas can take, apart from the fact they can take up to 18 months to come through, you have to prove that you've got sufficient funds to run the business for, you know, not just for that first year, but a continuation. And you have to have verified business projects, etc., etc. It's extremely difficult now. The only people who are really slightly luckier are people who've had access to Irish passports, because what that does is it allows you to come in as an EU citizen, and then if you've got family members who are third country nationals like Brits, they can actually come and join you using that passport.
Okay, so everyone marry an Irish person. Go get married to an Irish person.
It's amazing how many Irish passports we've seen now, I can tell you.
Yes, I have seen that was a way, even trying to get around with the imports and things like that people have tried to use Ireland to get around the situation. I mean, for you, this is a blessing because it's just given you work where you would normally not even have to think about it. Now everyone needing these visas just to even come here.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, before Brexit, trying to get somebody to get residency, it's a legal requirement, but it was a sell. You had to sell it to them and say, no, you actually need to get it for this. Now, obviously, it's different and it's hard for people to get residency. It's, for us, we decided to focus right towards the end of when we knew that it was going to be a hard Brexit. We said, I think the non-lucrative visa is going to be the way forward. People will use it maybe just to complete the first 5 years and then start working after that. Or retirees, as we've always seen, love to come to Spain. You know, it's not going to stop them. So we've focused on that mainly ever since. And
how's it working? I mean, are there a lot of difficulties, or are you pleasantly surprised that it actually does work?
It works, but there's nuances, you know. So since 3 years ago when we started till now, the understanding of the requirements from the consulates often change. You know, you have to present not only financial means, you have to present proof of health care that you're covered here in Spain. You also have to prove criminal records as well. You can't have a criminal record, which is not something which Europeans are asked to demonstrate, but now Brits are.
I remember the first time I heard that, back in the 80s, I had to give my antecedentes penales.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Why? Well, I haven't done anything.
Why would I have a criminal record? I mean, even talk about that in England, unless you have one. It's like...
Well, yeah, and you'd be surprised, you know, so lots of things come up. You're talking to clients and there's a big misconception that it's only criminal records for the last 5 years. It's not. There's a certificate called an ACRO, which is an advanced criminal records check, which every non-lucrative visa applicant has to present. And if that doesn't say trace or no trace or no live trace, then they won't give you the visa. It could have been an offence from the 80s. So it's quite shocking. But yeah, the process has been good. Okay, the consulates are constantly improving, I have to say, and we've had a nightmare for the last 2 summers because we have a lot of student visas as well. We don't do the student visas, but they do, so our visas slow down. But this summer they've subcontracted a company called BLS to do the appointments, and it looks like going into the summer we've got quite a lot of appointments, and it's going to be good.
It's nice to see that people are still coming. I've been surprised myself that the last week, how quiet it's been around Puerto Banús. Normally the traffic jams are just abysmal, and yet it's like, where did the people go? They're meant to be coming in. It should be worse, and it's gone. Are you finding that how are you seeing?
I mean, we're seeing, it's funny, the demographic of clients that we've had now, because obviously we used to work locally in Malaga, now we're working nationally because most of the visa assessment is done in the UK. And we've found people are going, I've heard of villages that I've never heard of before, you know, there's in the middle of Almeria, you know, for example, there's one village called Galera, I'd never heard of, and I had to Google it when we got our first client, and now we've got like 20 clients there. And there's people finding enclaves all over Andalusia, you know, it's not, in fact, probably only 15% of our clients are coming to the Costa del Sol now. It's a lot of people are going inland and finding other areas to go and relocate.
So actually moving to Spain as opposed to just going to live in the sun. They're actually looking to set up and retire in these nice areas. Or...
Yeah, it's really, the demographic has definitely changed.
So you're so busy, and I'm so happy for you, because it's like, it's amazing. There's always like the yin and the yang. What's being terrible for some people, for your business, is just wonderful.
Yeah, I have to say, it hasn't been bad. Yeah. So.
Well, I'm really happy for you. I'm really nice to see you again.
Thank you.
And obviously, if you have any issues with visa and residency, Chris Goodacre and the team at Upsticks are certainly highly recommended, as you can handle the whole country. So you don't have to be here. The beauty of technology.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Well, thank you ever so much, Chris.
Thanks for inviting me.
And don't go away, because now I'm going over to Elena Olcina's networking group. It's called Sinergias Femeninas, Feminine Synergy. Lots of great women, which isn't normal to get a bunch of good women together and making a nice crowd, but they really do. And what I like about Elena's group is, although it's predominantly Spanish, Elena appreciates and recognizes that us mixing the nationalities, particularly between us foreigners and the Spanish, is lucrative and beneficial to everyone. So join me now at Elena's networking breakfast.
Buenos dias.
So much trouble tearing us apart. Poison arrows shoot straight to your
amiga. Well, this is very nice, Karina.
Como te comenté, es una revista dedicada al tema del interiorismo, del diseño.
Nice, it's a lovely magazine. Buenos días. ¿Eso es todo tuyo? Sí. Muy bonito.
Sí, así que feliz de compartirlo con ustedes aquí.
Aquí, que María es mi casa. Hola, hola. ¿Vamos a desayunar?
Muy bien.
Para los que no lo sepáis, tenemos servicio de guardería, del que habéis visto a los niños, y es que queremos siempre facilitaros la posibilidad de hacer un hogares. Bueno, como dijo ella, nosotros no nos podemos dejar en ningún aspecto, porque soy visible en la plataforma de web.
Igual así se presenta cada uno de ustedes: nombre, empresa, actividad, dónde y un lema, si la tenéis.
O familia y empresa. Y
con necesidad de educación especial. Y aparte tenemos una aplicación, una red social solidaria que se llama wellbeing.
Buenos días, soy Boris Barrientos y yo tengo una asociación en Barcelona que trabajo esta mantiene las instalaciones.
Hoy seguimos en un medio de comunicación que, a pesar de los pesares,
realmente soy licenciada en farmacia, pero
Buenas, ¿qué tal? Me llamo Jesús, tuve cáncer con 2 años y bueno, la verdad que tenían que no puedes hacer algo porque tienes cáncer, así que de mi parte un aplauso para ellos y muchas gracias.
lo importante, aquí vengo nada más que una mezcla y a Rocío.
Así que muchísimas gracias y que hoy aquí remedio la representación de Fundatur. Así que gracias.
I've met some really interesting people this morning, and included there's our Julio and Svetlana, who do landscape gardening, but it sounds like very artistic landscape gardening. So that's really nice. I haven't heard people do that for a long time. You've been going a while? Is it a new business?
Yes, well, we've been working on this for many years. We have over 15 years experience, and what we really do is landscape design. We start from the ideas of our owners, of the people that have some property. Might be a blank piece of land, or could be something that is already planted, and we can study the needs of the person. And then what is more important than differentiating from other businesses that are already in the Costa del Sol is that we do 3D gardening design. So people are able to see what their garden is going to be like without investing in the garden itself. So that reassures all the process, where we present first the concept, then once the concept is like rubber, we can adapt it to the client's needs. And once the concept is adapted, then the next thing that we do is the project itself. And there is where Svetlana comes in, because she's a real expert in plants, and she will choose the right plant for the right place so that the garden remains beautiful all the time.
And I believe that with professionals like yourself, the choice of plants also includes the aromas they give off and the bugs that they repel. There's a lot of science to it as well as decoration. So
yes, and not only the bugs they repel, but the bugs they attract. Because sometimes some bugs are really good because they eat other bugs. So that's one of the important things that we can do, yes.
And you guys, where are you from originally?
I'm from Russia, from Moscow.
Хорошо.
And I am from northern Spain. I was born in Pamplona. So yes, at Pamplona, that tomorrow starts the big festival with the San Fermin. And I came from there to Marbella 12 years ago, more or less. And here I met Svetlana, which is my wife.
Congratulations. A beautiful Marbella love story. It's so hot and I've got goosebumps. That's lovely. Well, I hope that I get to see more of you. Really love what you do and I'm really happy that you found each other.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good.
Yes, my name is Gunilla. I work as a personal trainer and menopause coach. I have been invited to this fabulous event with the Sinergias Femeninas. My Spanish is not so good yet. I work with women mostly, trying to get them stronger and to realize that they have to maintain their muscle mass when they are in my age, or like maybe everybody. Once you have been working out a little bit and building a little bit of muscle mass, you become to realize how much better you feel and how much easier your life becomes. There are so many different things in life, your everyday life, that you will notice that they become much easier to do when you get stronger.
Well, Gunilla, I think you may have a new client. So here we have Isabel, looking absolutely stunning. I noticed you the minute you walked in, bright and beautiful. Tell us a little bit about what you do, Isabel.
Hello, Nicole. I am Isabel Silva. I have a beauty salon. It's called Smart Beauty Salon in Nueva Andalucía, Marbella. And we are expert in potential, the beauty and the sexuality in women. We work with women. So here I got two beautiful products to present. One is collagen from Isogenic, and the other one is Active Ice from Fit Line. This is the substitute of coffee, and this collagen is amazing for the skin, for bones, for everything inside your body. Then because women from 25 we start producing less collagen, and this helps to your body to keep creating. Plus in our aesthetics we do treatments, especially radiofrequency. We do neck rejuvenation, hand rejuvenation, everything to keep ourselves pretty. And I welcome all of you to come and visit me and see all the beauty we have there. Bye.
Fabulous. Really nice to meet you. Well done.
Thank you, Nicole.
Hi, I am Fabiola. I'm in Wonder Mothers Fitness. It's my enterprise, and I'm personal trainer. If you want to train and start a new habit, you can call me.
Where are you from?
I'm from Ecuador.
Very nice. How long have you been in Marbella?
1 year, since July 27.
Are you loving it?
I love La Costa del Sol.
And I'm sure it loves you too.
I love it.
Elena, congratulations. What a fabulous turnout. That was really, really good.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy that you are here with us, like always.
Well, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us once again to find out what's going on behind the scenes in Marbella right now. If you want to watch recordings of the programme, you can do so from the RTV Marbella website, or just go to mine, nicoleking.es, with a link to the RTV website, also to our Zero Hero initiative, giving free soft drinks to designated drivers, and my weekly column, Marbella Moments, in the Euro Weekly News. That's it for the moment. Take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and join me again next week for more of what's going on in Marbella. Hasta ahora.